Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Prison Break. This is the second episode of the third season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you liked today's full episode, it is available for a link in the description below. Just click it, put the password in, and enjoy. So last episode was interesting. Yes, we have a new prison. You know, at the end of the second season, we was wondering where the guards are. Do you know what I mean? When Michael was sent inside of there, it seemed like there was, inmates just lay all over the place taking drugs. There was no control. Didn't really look like they had good welfare. And then we was told in the first episode that basically a year ago, you know, the inmates went on a riot. The guards decided to pull away. They stood on the outside, you know, they're in the building on the inside, secluded, a big kind of distance between them and the walls where the guards are stood with the weapons. Basically, they just say, look, everybody in there pretty much has no chance of getting out, the people that get sent into Sona. And, you know, if they're going to attack the guards, they could just fend for themselves. So basically, they could just get the rations and the waters and stuff like that dropped off, and they can just live however they want to live. Nobody's going to obviously put some sort of order in there. It makes Fox River look like the best prison in the world, doesn't it? If you look at the dirty conditions that they're in this place. Bellick was the man that was on the floor. He's in a rough condition, honestly. It looks like he's been beaten up. He's had a bad time. He's got no clothes. He made a friend, but then the friend decided to try and escape. Yes, he jumped out the window. He was running across to the fences and ended up getting shot and killed. But it kind of looked like if they tried to do that at night time, maybe they'd have a better chance of getting out of there. Now, speaking about getting out of there, Lincoln, you know, went to the embassy or whatever it was, and he started to obviously plead Michael's innocence. And they basically said, look, if he stays in there for one more day, they'll come, they'll grab him, and they'll move him to a lower security facility, hopefully somewhere much better. And then he could obviously drop all charges here in Panama, take it back to the US, and he could serve his time back in Fox River. So obviously both of them are just okay with that right now, considering the position that they're currently in. But a spanner did get thrown in the works, because there is a person inside of Sona that they need to be extracted, and Michael is the perfect plan to facilitate this escape. And they've taken LJ, they've taken SARA, and they're using them as basically the incentive for Michael to actually do this. Now, the person that's inside of Sona, we don't know who it is yet, but we're assuming it is the person that Bellick was spoke to, who was hiding behind the wall. Guy fed Bellick 2 pieces of information. Well, it looked like the same note, but Bellick went upstairs and stuck it into Michael's back pocket, because Michael was actually having to throw down hands with one of the inmates that are in there. The guy that's running the facility, running the prison right now, the man in charge, sees Michael as a potential threat, because obviously he could be a celebrity, considering that he's broke out of prison before, and people might want to use him to maybe facilitate their own escape, and he wants to kind of eliminate Michael from being in there altogether. So he planted drugs in his bed, made it look like obviously he was stealing from somebody. This guy then threw down a challenge, which they fight to the death, and Michael ended up obviously scrapping. Now, Mahone told him that the best way to take somebody out is go for the kneecap. Whilst the guy wasn't looking, Michael did take the kneecap out and knock him down, and you know, knocked him to the ground. Now, this guy grabbed the weapon and was going to stab Michael before Mahomes jumped in, stopped him, killed him himself, and then ended up shouting to the man in charge, saying, look, you said that no weapons was involved, yet this guy was about to kill Michael. The guy couldn't really say anything, and he had to let Michael walk free. So his plan of trying to get Michael killed on the first day, because he's scared of obviously the potential uprising that maybe he brings, didn't work out too well. But Teabag is in there, and also he's kissing the guy who's in charge there, so that he can actually get some benefits of being there, because it looks like a doom and gloomy place. And so currently he's sat up on the high horse, while Michael is kicked down to the bottom. So it's interesting to see how it goes. Can't wait to see what we have in store for us. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Where you from up there, bro?
Chicago.
Michael Jordan.
Thanks for saving me a spot.
Hey! We get it! Ever have sex with blonde cheerleader?
Yeah, sure.
You're the man, bro.
How long's the water been out?
Since riots last year. Government blame us.
There's an inmate here named James Whistler. I'm looking for him.
Welcome to club. Everybody looking for him.
Why's that?
He killed the mayor of Panama City, son.
So where is he now?
Disappeared.
I don't have no money. That's all I hear from you. You know that? But then I see you with this.
I'm hungry, okay?
You worry about me being hungry.
It's gonna be more water.
When?
I said there will be more water.
Spare a little. I need some information.
Absolutely.
You slipped this note in my pocket yesterday. Why?
This guy gave me some rat meat in exchange for putting that in your pocket. Anybody who lived down in those sewers doesn't have all his faculties.
So he's in here because he killed the mayor's son. I think they said he was. What do you reckon that is? A water pipe? And he just felt it. You know, he said the water was jammed before, didn't they? They've not had it for ages.
I'm gonna assume they told you I was coming.
You're here to get me out of Sona.
Are you surprised?
Seeing as if I go above ground and another inmate spots me, I'm a dead man.
You reckon that is a dead man because everybody like wants to kill him because obviously, like he just said there, that he killed the mayor's son, or you know, has he done something extra inside of the prison as well, which has pissed everybody off because he's down here, he's hiding, he's in this location. I'm not too sure how he's got there. You were speaking to that guy in the basketball top who said that he's disappeared. You know what I mean? Some say that he might have even escaped. So he must have been gone for a while. Do you know what I mean? Like for a bit, for him to obviously be seen as missing.
So you work for these people? The ones that want me out of Sona? Why do they want me out of here so badly? Can you at least tell me that?
Stay put.
In an effort to save some time, I'm gonna have to insist that we just skip right past all the threats I know you're prepared to lay out. On to business. You and I will meet here every day. I'll want a full report of the prior day's progress.
Why us?
Answer that question so we can put it to bed. There's a political spotlight on Whistler due to the nature of his crime. Raids, bribes, what have you, are not an option.
Family trees being what they are. Moms, dads, brothers, sisters. Anything happens to my son, I'm not coming after you, Susan.
Get to work.
You come after my family, I'll come after yours. You know what I mean? Not just you, I'll let you suffer. Also, she said that raids is not an option. But can you not send a team in, basically like they do in Mission Impossible? If you get caught, we don't even know who you are. You don't even work for us. You're pretty much unbranded, unmarked. You're just mercenaries. You know what I'm saying? You're acting off your own accord. Nothing to do with the US government. Nothing at all. If you go in, you're successful. Well done, mate. You get a pat on the back, big hefty wage. But if you get caught, you know what I mean, you're on your own. They could send a team in, realistically, couldn't they? You know, they could drop them in the night, sneak in, SWATs, get them and take him out if who's that important. But nope, they're backdooring it. They're using Michael and Lincoln to do it. Oh, he's buying a firearm. You reckon he's going to try and hunt down Bellic? He knows that he's been taken by the police also.
He doesn't care about us. Doesn't give a damn. Living like a king up there. Opa, opa, tabuzuki.
Why are you so interested about that guy down there?
No reason.
And why are you whispering, college boy? Friends don't let friends go hungry and thirsty and damn near half naked.
I said all right, I'll take care of it.
What's the big deal? Why is he hiding?
Mayor get message to Mechero. Say if Whistler guy gets killed here in Sona, whoever kills him gets to go to court to see a judge. Judge friendly with mayor. If your friend wanted you to know, why didn't he tell you?
Cause you and I are friends now.
Well, he said that Lechero, the guy who's running it, said that, and the mayor said if you capture that guy, you can basically get free.
Get me out of here, please. Where's money? You shoot me, you'll end up inside this hellhole. I never had her. At that house in Mexico, I chased your Aunt Marta Cruz off.
Mate, I knew it. I said that, didn't I?
The crucifix?
I ripped it off Marta Cruz before she ran. I conned you. Just lower the barrel. Now I came clean with you and helped you out, right, buddy? Call my mom and Joliet. Sucre, help me!
Do you know what, right? We called it, didn't we? We said that, you know, we never actually seen Bellic take any of them, and he could have just gone into the house and found the crucifix himself, or, you know, whatever it is that he just said that he'd done. He actually grabbed them. He said, look, I knew that he wouldn't have had any contact with you, been able to, you know, get the message across where I told him that something bad had happened to you if they don't flee. And then that's obviously what they've done. So he doesn't know where they are, but he knows that they're not in danger from him. And I said that whole time, that it's a possibility that he's bluffing Sucre that whole time, and he just put all his hopes on the cross that it would actually work, and it did. You know, it actually did. So now Sucre's running back, he's loving it, he's going to go and get her. But, again, you know, Bellic is inside. I would actually call his mum, to be honest, and let her know. But then again, you know, he didn't give Sucre the best of times when he was in Fox River, so maybe he's thinking, this is payback. Do you know what I mean? This is what you deserve. To be fair, Mahomes has been earwigging all the conversations, hasn't he? He's been trying to watch what Michael's doing, and he has gone and spoken to that guy as well.
Come on, man, come on. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving. What's the next play?
Whistler got a note out on a dead body yesterday. I don't know what it means or who it's for.
He needs to separate. I give him money every day, me, so that he can buy his way through the prison.
No one's ever broken out of this place before, let alone with a week to plan it. You tell them I get it. And I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna break this guy out of here.
You're not safe here. If you're here to help me, then just leave me alone.
He's gonna bash that wall through him. What's he got in his hand? A pipe or something? Straight away. Looks like he's got a crowbar, to be fair.
Hey, man. What are you doing here?
Michael's locked up.
I feel for you, man, but I'm done with bass spots, Link. I want to go see Mary Cruz.
The innocent people in your life, you gotta keep them innocent. That means walking away from you. That's what you gotta do.
He does kind of talk a bit of sense over there, innit? Do you know what I mean? Being on a run all the time is not healthy for them, considering that they're not wanted. That's why I thought like C-Note's wife was taking a risk.
You caused me a big problem out there today. You understand that? No, there's no more water. There's water, yeah. Give each man a look, eh?
May have ruled the streets out there, but in here, just like us! Hannah, what are you afraid?
Teabag.
Boy, you won't be drinking your own urine before you get any of this.
I got information. Good information.
Oh no, he's talking straight to him.
You're mine?
Eh? He's got info.
Pick a kneecap, huh?
This better be informative. Was your kneecap next?
I heard you and the lads talking about that Whistler character, how no one's found him.
I'm hiding down in the sewers. I figure he's hiding from you, right? Because you run this place. Is he Australian?
He is Australian, he is.
Courtesy of the Lechero's Munificence.
They're all gonna fight and just take it off him. Lechero's men, aren't they? Oh, look, he's figured it out because he's seen Bellic coming out with clothes and food. Yeah.
Please.
3 different people down there wanting him. We was told there that basically if you capture this guy, then the mayor, he will actually listen to you and take into consideration and see if he can free you. And that's obviously what Mahomes is doing. You know, Michael's intentions was to find him and extract him from the prison because obviously he wants to save LJ and Sarah, who's actually, I don't think we've seen at all in the show this season. You know, 2 episodes in so far, not 1 appearance. But Michael's doing it in terms of obviously trying to save people on the outside, where Mahomes is doing it to save himself on the inside. And like I said, you know, I'd be surprised that more people, once they realise that he's actually here still in the prison, won't go after him. Because if that's a pretty much get out of jail free card like Monopoly, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's going to want a piece of the pie. Now, I'm surprised Bellic as well. He doesn't really know about the reward. All he's thinking is here and the now. He's got no clothes, he's got no friends, he's got no food, he's got no water. You know what I mean? Come in, give the top dog the information, and then see if you can reap in the rewards. And straight away, you can see that he's dressed a bit better and he's got food. Now, Teabag, I'm thinking that maybe later on in the season, do you know Lechero's right-hand man, that dude who actually knocked the water over? I'm going to think that both of them two are going to get into a beefing thing between each other, because obviously one's going to get jealous that Teabag is obviously rising towards the top, and obviously we know what Teabag's like. He, you know, he just slithers his way into all different positions and he just uses and does anything. He'll kill anyone to get what he wants. And I'm thinking that maybe that they're going to throw down later on in the show, which would be pretty decent, to be honest. I'd be excited to see how far he can get up before he starts annoying people. But there's a guy outside who's getting a crowd round him. He's rattling them all up. He's shouting. He's trying to get everybody on his side. You know what I mean? If I was the person in charge, I'd be trying to squash him down a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Maybe challenge him or something. I'd have to try and quiet him, because I don't want everybody going and obviously standing against me.
Just back up, Michael. This is a really strange place. What did you tell me yesterday, huh? You're on your own, Alex. Back up. Back up!
Hey, Your Majesty!
I need to talk to you.
Don't ever walk in here without being called.
I thought you could use my help. There are ways I can be of assistance.
Whistler don't mean nothing to me, man. I had 5 consecutive life sentences. I ain't coming out of Sona no time soon.
I need you to trust me.
Trust has to be earned though, doesn't it?
See, patron?
Can I trust this Bobo?
He's a snake.
A snake who stab a man in the back. I never heard of such a creature before.
Crumbs! That's what you're giving us! You're crumbs!
Moonshine, some alcohol, booze. I need it now. I'll lead her a gallon whenever you can get your hands on.
La señorita te está esperando desde hace tiempo.
Gracias.
Usted está autorizada en esta cuenta.
For them had the same letter, didn't they? So obviously he knows who she, well, not who she technically is, but he knows why she's there.
¿Necesitas ayuda?
No, gracias. Estoy bien.
Porque parecía que necesitaba algo.
Do you know what, like, maybe that situation there is getting him to rethink what Lincoln was saying.
Stop! What are you... At least you can plead your case to the sheriff. Just get... Go to hell. Just... do it.
It looks like he's going to try and cause an explosion. He's going to soak it in the water, do you know what I mean? Like the gasoline and burn it. Is that all it is she's saying? Like, what is it? She's slapped it in a bag. I reckon she's confused about what it was as well. It didn't sound like she was confident.
We met. I mean, I saw you yesterday at Sona.
You have to be somewhere.
Just, I gotta do something, all right?
Do what? Give me that back.
Why does he want this?
I don't know. He's just a fisherman.
Tell your fisherman friend Schofield's brother has this.
Why won't you people just leave him alone?
It's not even his people.
You think we want to be forced into this? You think we want to be here, lady?
What I did for you, getting you those things,
No one will ever know.
He said that he could be assistant to the churro dinner.
You can have them, but 2 of you will die in the process.
What's he doing there? Before he was touching the pipe and his hand was wet. Is he doing it again, feeling it, and then seeing where it was dry, maybe?
Let me go down there. Let me cut just one throat. You'll quiet down, man.
And then regroup later with a real reason come after you.
And we just gonna sit up here, hope they run out of rocks?
My men need water, man.
See if I can get the water truck there day after tomorrow.
No, I need water now.
You call me and you raise your voice at me like that again, you're not going to see water for 2 weeks.
Oh, that pipe's blocked. Do you reckon that's the water one? Do you reckon that's why he's running his hand across and it was wet and then he went to like a dry section and he's trying to like bust it out here? I'm thinking that maybe he sets that on fire down there, it causes that little bit of explosion which knocks that pipe away.
I'll decide this. You decide nothing.
This guy's proper chanting him. Oh no, it's words. Look at that, mate. Said it once, I'll say it again. In a hot country like this, water, you need it. It's big time. It's so important.
Now what? What do we do?
Been outbid.
Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking?
What are you talking?
Very useful. Whistler's clear. Yeah.
Alright, he's lucky then. So he's out-trumped Mahomes, hasn't he?
I've been so scared. I've been praying every day.
I did too, babe.
Petey called me after he had talked to you, and he said that you might be coming back here. I have to be so careful.
The only thing that I care about right now is that you and the baby are okay. I'm not coming back.
Oh, it's tough on him, but he's probably made the right choice right now.
I love you more than anything. Sometimes the only way to protect the people that you love is by staying away from them.
I would give anything to go back.
I wish that too, baby.
I love you so much.
Love you too, baby.
See, I wouldn't have left the crucifix there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would have kept that crucifix because it's some sort of like momentum. Do you know what I mean? Is that what you call it? Like, he can look at it, memento, and like, it gives him motivation that I need to get my life back on track. I need to stay focused, you know, got Mary Cruz and the baby. That's his, like, thing, do you know what I mean? For him to look at and always keep him on the right path. And I know that he wants to go back to it, but going back to the US is not the right play. It actually isn't. You know, he's going to a place where he can easily get arrested and put back in jail. Here in Panama, he is technically a free man. And if he was to be with her, they need to come to him. Also, he's assessed the situation as well, and she's pregnant and she doesn't need the stress and the running and the lifestyle right now. He's not saying that he don't want to be with him. He does. He hardcore loves him, but he thinks that the best thing for her and the baby is to be settled. And when he gets his life better, he'll come back to them. So, you know, I do appreciate it. He's made the right choice, but it's tough for him. The only positive from our side is hopefully he's in it more. Hopefully he helps Lincoln on the outside. Maybe with this new female that's introduced that he just spoke to as well, to try and help Michael do his best that he can while he's inside.
You know, they told me that your brother got all the brains, but I didn't realize you were this stupid. You need to quit playing Sherlock Holmes and leave her alone.
Why?
Because I said so.
How about you beat it so I can get to work?
As soon as you give me what you took from her.
It's just a bird guide.
I am not gonna ask you again. Tomorrow, bar, progress report. I will be waiting.
Oh, he got a second copy. Do you know what? That's smart from him. He must have known that he was being tailed, and he got a second one. Mate, this guy full on had it coming to him. Like, what did he expect, honestly?
So how are we getting out of here? I have no idea.
Do you know what the interesting thing is, right? Michael there, you know, that guy, right? He looks like Elijah from the Vampire Diaries. I'm not saying it is, but they are Australian, quite a lot of the casting in there. And we've already had Davina, obviously. That was, T-Bag wanted to be a stepdad to her, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like, Susan's daughter. And definitely Joe, the person that's just pulled the gun on Lincoln, she's from the Vampire Diaries as well. She married Alaric. She was obviously Kai's sister, twin. You know what I mean? Like, it was a mad blonde. She was a doctor in it. So it's good seeing it, because we've obviously sat here watching that franchise completely on the channel, and now obviously we come into different shows and we see cast members obviously from the past going into it. It's really decent. And you know, if you look at today's episode here, Michael went into the Charles office or whatever you want to call it and said, look mate, you know, I could be assistant, you need to trust me. And like, he's like, not really, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll trust my men. And obviously T-Bag said that you can't trust him as a snake, even though the real snake is actually T-Bag, isn't it? Let's be honest, we all know that. The interesting thing is though, trust has to be earned. You know, somebody has to do an action for you, which I think is really interesting, to be honest. You know, you either have to be like a family or friend or loved one or something, like you relay some information to them and then they never tell anybody, and it's like, oh, that's decent. Do you know what I mean? You know that you can confide in them and give them information and they won't go out and blurt it to everybody else. Or it's an action that somebody undertakes to you, like turns the water on, or like when you're in a desperate time of need, they'll come and help you out. Or like you can give them something, you know what I mean? Like a family member could come and give me £10,000 in cash, you know what I mean, and said, could you mind that for me for a year or something, and then when they come to collect it in a year's time, boom, it's there, I've not spent it. That's trust. You know, next time they'll be willing to do something again because they know that I'm not going to screw them over, you know what I mean? It's all about gaining things. It's mad really, because trust is kind of, what can you do for me, what can I do for you, you know what I mean? And then it's like, have they executed it well? Can I trust that they'll be by my side when I need it, when push comes to shove? And you know, Michael here in this situation, okay, desperate times. They said that the war's been out for ages. You can see them rallying up there. The troops are getting behind that dude at the very end. You know, he's read the situation. He's done something useful where this guy can obviously say thank you to Michael and obviously give him something. He's giving the water. He's giving the bounty taken off his head. Now they can work together, try and obviously figure out how to escape. Also, this guy that's had his head dunked in the water there, potentially killed, what was he thinking getting out of this situation? All episode, he's been challenging the authority. He's been trying to rally people up and get them behind him. He's been throwing stuff and smashing windows. He's been confronting him in front of everybody. He's been obviously challenging his position. Now, obviously, when everything's gone A-okay and he's left on his own, he's been dragged upstairs and he's shaking, he's crying, he's scared. And, like, he needs to face it like a man. I know, like, obviously, it's intimidating, but look at the guy last episode when everybody come in and stood in the line. He pissed himself because he was scared and got beaten up. Michael and Mahone stood there, stared him straight in the face, showing a bit of confidence. Killing him when he knew he was going to die, opened the back of the van, put guns facing towards him, stared him in the eyes and smiled. He said death by firing squad is deemed sometimes as an honour in certain places. So it's interesting, the situations. I fully unexpected him to be beaten up and made an example out of. Obviously, I was just thinking of when and how. Maybe we'll find out next episode if he's died or not, if he gets sent back down to his people to say, look mate, you know, if we do challenge it, this is what's going to happen to us. It's going to be some sort of like a warning to everybody. It's interesting, but I enjoyed this episode. Second one in, it's a good start to the season. I can't wait to see obviously how we finish it, because it's only 13 episodes, so it's way shorter, so I'm expecting way more to pick up much sooner. Hey, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So 2 episodes in, very interesting stuff that's going on, relationships being established, you know, we're figuring out each characters. Michael's finally got Whistler. You know, I thought it was interesting the fact that, you know, he's been in the prison for some time and there's been this bounty on his head. If you get him, then potentially he could become free because the mayor wants him. And you know, all this time nobody could find him, but 2 days in or 1 day in, you've had Bellick make contact, Michael make contact, and Mahomes have found him as well. So all 3 of the Americans have managed to actually find this Australian. It's been really interesting. And obviously the guy in charge, he doesn't really care much. He said that he's in there serving 5 consecutive life sentences, so it's not really going to benefit him from catching him anyway. But if everybody else wants to do it, then go for it. You know, he's not going to stop them. Now, it's interesting to see Sucre making his decision that he's actually not going to return home. I know it's going to be really tough for him, and he just wants to be in Mary Cruz's life. You know what I mean? All season, last season anyway, he was trying to get back to her, and he was chasing down Bellica, doing the work for him. And it was interesting that Bellica obviously revealed in today's episode that he never really had her. It was all a bluff, and he actually met her, told her that obviously if she didn't flee away from Sucre, then that he's going to suffer, you know, some pain, some trouble. And, you know, he knew that they wouldn't be able to make contact, so he thought that it was a free ride for him, and it technically was. Now he's in there, he's going to have to cut deals himself. Do you know what I mean? He's trying to assess his situations, and he thought that the best play for him anyway, considering that he's suffering, he's got no food, no water, no clothes, nothing, was to go and tell the man in charge about the man hidden behind the wall. Basically, that's what happened, and obviously he's relayed this information. He's obviously got some food. It looks like he's getting a little bit better treatment now, but it seems like everybody else in the prison, when they've made contact with him prior to that, nobody really wants anything to do with it. Now, I don't know if that's coming from the top trickling down, or whether it's a new person that's come in and they've got to fend for themselves and show that they're worthy of obviously getting respect of everybody. But so far, you know what I mean, he's not been in a good way. Now Michael, now he's got Wheeler, he can start creating plans, and Lincoln on the outside, he's got this book, he can maybe try and figure out what the plans are. Now obviously this woman, she wants an update every day, and obviously he's got to go and speak to Michael every day. Now I would go there, I would take the book as well, I'd give it to him, or I'd ask him about it and say what, you know, why is Wheeler want this so much, why has he got it in a lot of box in the bank somewhere, and you know, I'd see if I could work closer between Lincoln and the woman on the outside, as well as Sucre, bring him into it now, even though Sucre has got really no benefit of helping, in terms of it's just being friends, helping out friends, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to, there's none of his family on the line, but obviously now he's here in the same location, it'd be good to work together, because he worked together the first time on the escaping, and he kind of owes Michael one, but not really. But obviously, you know, without Michael he won't be where he is now, he'd be still locked up, so he might feel like, you know, it's his out best interest to return the favour and obviously help Michael back out. Now, if I was Lincoln, I would turn up every day and I would give him money, because you can see what money can buy you. Today, it bought them the alcohol, it bought them the bags, or whatever you want to call it. He dropped it down. He created an explosion which helped get water to everybody here in the facilities. Now, none of them know that Michael's the one that done that, but it just shows that it gives you access to different things. And I know Lincoln's not got unlimited amount of cash, but he'd be able to give him enough. Or I would go to the woman anyway, you want to get Wheeler out of there, and say, I want money. Money buys us advantages on the inside, and on the inside, that's what we need, so we can create the positions, and we can also utilize other people to facilitate this escape. You know what I mean? If we start the escape, or we create a fire and the people come in and try to put it out, and we can use a diversion to create a riot ourselves, and in the midst of it, one inmate goes missing, then that's beneficial. Or if we got loads of people that's attempting the escape, we can use them as decoys, they can get shot at, they can focus their attentions on them, and we can sneak out the back door. We need to buy people, we need to get people, we need to use the resources. This money would help us extract the man that you want. Now, we've not seen anything of the company this season, even though it was them and the guy who was holding the sign saying Sona, who wanted obviously Michael in there for this reason, to extract this man. So again, you know, we don't know if he's innocent or guilty. He's being accused of killing the mayor's son, I think it was. But with Lincoln, we know that that was falsified. But this guy is still unknown. You know, he was saying to Michael that it was, you know, it was false, this information. And he was saying if Michael looked into his file, he would believe it as well. Michael should have a little thing in his head thinking that maybe that is true because of what happened to his brother. But at the end of the day, it's probably best if he just stays out of it, doesn't know what the situation is. You know, it could be someone so bad like T-Bag, and then Michael wouldn't want to be involved with it. Do you know what I mean? Because he wanted to take T-Bag down. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, if he just turns a blind eye, forgets who he is and what he's associated with, and just looks at the task at hand, got to get this guy out, got to save Sarah, got to save LJ, got to get back to my brother, that's going to motivate him to do it even quicker. So that's where we currently are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.